Joining NBA Today, the aforementioned Kelsey Mitchell. Congrats on your 34-point performance. What did you have working there in Game 1 for you?
I think it was just about having confidence, for one, leaning on my preparation, and then my teammates, our chemistry, everything we've been through this season, kind of put us in position to really be.
And Kelsey Mitchell has broken her silence. And trust me, she didn't hold back when it came to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Every word was caught on camera, and now fans can't stop talking. Is this respect? Is it rivalry? Or just the most brutally honest take we've heard from a teammate in years? You be the judge. Here's a question for you. Do you believe Caitlin Clark has actually changed the game of basketball? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's be real. Whenever a Fever player steps in front of a microphone, you already know what's coming. It doesn't matter if the topic is the weather, last night's dinner, or traffic on the way to the arena, reporters always circle back to the same thing: Caitlin Clark. And this time, the spotlight landed on Kelsey Mitchell.
And Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. And as a friend and as a player, you grow to appreciate her because, certain doors have opened because she's come to the Fever, and you have to respect that. And I love the teammate and person in her because she's accepted it with so much grace and even welcomed us with open arms to, make this thing happen. So I think it just took a lot of big pieces to make,
And then you bring in Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. And, as a friend and as a player, you better appreciate her because, certain doors have opened because she's come to the Fever, and you have to respect that. And I love the teammate and the person in her because she's accepted it with so much grace and even welcomed us with open arms to, make this thing happen. So I think it just took a lot of big pieces to make, what it is.
Somebody took care of it for her. I love it because as much people don't know this about Caitlin, but she has an unbelievable, funny sense of humor. And so I think the tweet was the tweet, but you just have to know CC to know that it's just nothing but love coming from that kid, and her energy and her effort to just kind of support our team is just her way of.
This is the same Kelsey Mitchell who kept the franchise afloat during its darkest years. The same player who stood on the court when Indiana managed just 5 wins in an entire season. Yes, 5. As in, you could count them on one hand and still have fingers to spare. That's what she endured. That's the weight she carried, while the rest of the league treated the Fever like nothing more than a tune-up game.
Playoffs the last 2. What's been the big turnaround? How have you viewed the way the team has grown organically?
Oh, man, I think a big shout out to the organization taking time to rebuild. I think our draft picks ended up coming big. Lexi Hall was a big draft pick, and then you get Kaylin, and then you get AB. And so you culminate that together with, my experience and having to, go through a couple things before they got there. I think it was just like a match made in heaven, really, because I was, still at a young age to really, vibe and get to know these players for who they were. And then you bring in Kaylin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. And as a friend and as a player, you grow to appreciate her because, certain doors have opened because she's come to the Fever. And
So, when Kelsey Mitchell finally spoke about Caitlin Clark, you knew it wasn't going to be some empty cliche. This wasn't the typical, "Oh, she's great, she's helping the team" type of answer. No, this was real. And what did she say? Exactly what everyone's been thinking, but few have dared to say out loud. Caitlin Clark hasn't just lifted the Fever, she's transformed basketball itself. Kelsey spelled it out. Clark reshaped the game, changed the culture, shifted the entire landscape. That's not small talk. That's one of Indiana's leaders looking into the camera and basically admitting, without Caitlin Clark, none of this is possible. And the best part? There wasn't even a hint of jealousy in her delivery. No side comments, no shade, just pure respect.
Forbid Asia doesn't drop 40 for us. I thought it was really poor, really poor.
Kelsey Mitchell, what about the way she was playing today made it so difficult?
Well, one, she made every freaking shot, it seemed like. Long twos, short twos, threes, get the free throw line.
That doesn't mean Kelsey Mitchell forgot her own worth. She made it clear she's been here through the grind, carrying the rebuild and swallowing the losses long before Caitlin Clark ever showed up. And she's right. Without Mitchell's scoring and steady presence, Clark wouldn't even have the platform she is today. What people tend to overlook is that Mitchell is one of the most underappreciated scorers in the entire league. She doesn't get the national spotlight, but she's been the backbone keeping Indiana afloat. Think back to when Lexi Hull joined. The Fever were still terrible, records so bad they were almost a punchline. Mitchell had to sit through press conferences, forcing a smile while trying to sell 5 wins as progress. Then came Aaliyah Boston. Then Caitlin Clark. Slowly, the foundation shifted, and through it all, Mitchell adjusted. She never pouted, never demanded a trade, never complained. Instead, she embraced the change and found a way to make it work.
An MVP finalist this year with our own Chiney Ogwumike even saying that you had the best season of any guard this year in the league. What has it been like to get that kind of recognition and get your flowers?
Oh, I appreciate it. I've been to a lot throughout the course of my career with the Indiana Fever. It's been like my longest, ever. So it's for me, it's a humbling experience to kind of see myself make waves from where it started to where it is now, and just kind of respect the game, lean on the game as far as creating bonds and friendships. And now you get to see us do that now.
That's why Kelsey Mitchell's words actually matter. When she says Caitlin Clark changed the game, it's not hype. It's a veteran speaking truth. Mitchell has lived through both versions of the Fever, the embarrassment and the revival. And she knows exactly which version fills arenas, secures TV deals, and puts money in everyone's pockets. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Kelsey didn't just call Caitlin a teammate, she called her friend. She gave Clark credit for embracing the team, for carrying the spotlight with grace, and for making sure the success didn't feel like a one-woman show. That's huge, because we've all seen what happens in other leagues when superstars act like divas. They make life miserable for everyone around them. Clark didn't do that. She shared the shine and, as a result, Mitchell is thriving. Her game is on full display, she's fueling a playoff push, and she's finally earning the recognition that should have been hers years ago. The irony? Clark's arrival forced the league and the media to pay attention to Indiana. Without her, maybe Mitchell keeps quietly dropping 25 a night with little notice. With her, the spotlight is brighter, and Mitchell knows it. That's why the respect is real. And then came the twist no one expected. Mitchell even addressed Caitlin's viral fine tweet. Remember when Clark cracked that joke and the internet lost its mind? Some people called it reckless. Others said it was disrespectful. But inside the Fever locker room, they were laughing. Mitchell explained they loved it because it showed Caitlin's humor, something the public rarely gets to see. That's the difference between outsiders and teammates. Outsiders analyze every word. Teammates see the personality behind the player. Mitchell basically told everyone, relax, it's just Caitlin being Caitlin. And that's the ultimate proof the locker room is tight. If Clark wasn't respected, that tweet would have blown up into drama. Instead, it became an inside joke. And that brings us to the bigger picture. The core four, Mitchell, Clark, Boston, and Hull. That's the foundation Indiana is building around. And from the way Mitchell talked, it sounds untouchable. She even hinted that she'd be willing to take less money just to keep this group together. Think about that. One of the league's top scorers considering a pay cut for the sake of chemistry. That's not normal in pro sports. That's rare. But Mitchell sees the vision. She knows the Fever are sitting on something special. This isn't just about chasing playoff spots anymore. It's about building a legacy, a brand, and rewriting the league's balance of power. For years, Indiana was the punchline. Now they're the headline. The idea that the Fever could reach the finals fueled by chemistry and connection might sound cliché, but it's real. Mitchell buys into it. Clark energizes it. Boston anchors it. Hull hustles through it. Together, they've turned Indiana from a bottom feeder into a legitimate contender. And everyone knows next season could be even more dangerous. Now, here's why Mitchell's words hit so hard with fans. She didn't just compliment Caitlin Clark, she acknowledged the doors Clark has opened. The sponsorships, the media coverage,